These are the secret regions where Florida's billionaires actually live, and they only get crazier as we move. We're talking an island accessible only by private ferry where Oprah owns a $90 million penthouse, a gated billionaire bunker where Mark Wahlberg paid $37 million, and a neighborhood where every resident needs to pass criminal background check. Let's get into it. Number 8. Pinecrest, where billionaires move for schools and then actually stay. Pinecrest is suburban Miami with 1-acre minimum lots and mature tropical tree canopy everywhere. It's the anti-Miami beach. It doesn't have any penthouses, rooftop clubs, or even nightlife. Just quiet residential streets, expansive backyards, and top-tier private schools that serve as professional networking hubs disguised as education. Typical homes run around $2.4 million, but that's the entire point. The money here deliberately plays small. Jeff Bezos has long-standing family ties to Pinecrest, which is genuinely interesting when you think about it. The world's richest person chooses a community defined by 1-acre lots and quality schools over oceanfront penthouses or private islands. That tells you something about what actually matters when you have unlimited resources. It's not visibility, it's space, privacy, proximity to good schools. The things normal wealthy people care about, just at different price points. Gulliver Preparatory School charges $53,400 annually for upper school and serves as the primary anchor for the entire community. These schools function as social infrastructure where families build generational connections. You're not just paying for education, you're buying membership into a network of other wealthy families who've made the same calculation. The school becomes the real estate driver, which means property values stay stable because they're anchored to something institutional rather than speculative. Dwayne Wade, Timbaland, David Big Papi Ortiz, Mark Anthony, Birdman, and Tyler Herro have all owned property here. These aren't people who can't afford beachfront. They're choosing Pinecrest specifically because it doesn't advertise wealth. The neighborhood lets them exist normally. Their kids go to school with other wealthy kids, but not constantly performing their wealth to paparazzi. That's the actual luxury Pinecrest provides. Normalcy at billionaire scale. Number 7. Boca Raton, where the security boats on the water reveal paranoia as luxury. Boca Raton is structured differently than typical Florida enclaves. It's a planned city with active corporate headquarters, permanent residents, and family-oriented infrastructure rather than pure seasonal wealth. But the luxury enclaves within it are genuinely paranoid about security in ways that feel almost performative. The sanctuary is a 97-estate community bounded by a 27-acre wildlife preserve and the Intracoastal Waterway. That means you're surrounded by nature on one side and water on the other, which creates this natural isolation. But the real security infrastructure is what's fascinating. Armed guards at the single entry point, roving land patrols, dedicated security boats patrolling the waterways 24 hours a day. You literally have armed personnel on boats watching your neighborhood constantly. Monthly HOA dues run $1,500 to $2,054 to maintain that level of surveillance. Billy Joel purchased a $29 million estate in the sanctuary, which is interesting because a legendary musician could live anywhere but chose a community designed around security paranoia. That's either concerning or speaks to a level of fame where constant visibility becomes genuinely dangerous. The security boats on the water probably feel like a reasonable trade-off when you're famous enough that being photographed creates immediate problems. Royal Palm Yacht and Country Club is the alternative, featuring approximately 700 custom estates built along deep-water canals. The Jack Nicklaus-designed golf course and private marina create this yacht-centric lifestyle, where bridge-free access to the Boca Inlet means you can literally take your boat directly to the ocean without passing through locks or congestion. Properties trade between $20 million and $40 million. The appeal is fundamentally different from Palm Beach. You're not buying prestige here. You're buying a specific lifestyle where boat access and golf are embedded into the community infrastructure. Boca West is ranked as the premier country club community in the nation with 4 championship golf courses and 54 distinct subdivisions. The scale is genuinely massive compared to more exclusive enclaves. Boca Raton has decided that wealth scales through institutional structure rather than scarcity. More residents, more country clubs, more golf courses, but all within controlled, gated environments. Number 6. Golden Beach, where Bill Gates lives behind a private police department. Golden Beach is a mile-long oceanfront enclave with approximately 970 residents and 0 hotels, commercial storefronts, or public beach access. The town incorporated in 1929 with a charter that explicitly bans all commercial operations and multifamily structures. That's not recent zoning, that's foundational. The entire municipality was designed with the assumption that commerce doesn't belong in wealth enclaves. Security here operates at a different scale than typical communities. Golden Beach maintains its own private police department that actively patrols the area and operates staffed checkpoints along its perimeter. That means residents are paying to have local law enforcement that exists exclusively for them. It's not shared with surrounding municipalities, it's dedicated. The millage rate is 7.66 mils, which is significantly higher than neighboring communities, but that premium pays for having security infrastructure that answers only to Golden Beach residents. Bill Gates owns property here, which is genuinely telling. Microsoft co-founder and one of the world's richest people could live at Mar-a-Lago with Trump, or on Fisher Island with Oprah, but chose Golden Beach instead. There's something about the privateness of the police force and the explicit ban on commercial activity that apparently appeals to him. Average property values are $7.38 million to $7.42 million, with median listing prices around $13.9 million. Properties have appreciated 100% since 2020, driven by the absolute scarcity of private oceanfront land with this level of control. Other notable residents include Paul Newman, Ricky Martin, and Eric Clapton. These are people accustomed to paparazzi and public attention, who've all calculated that Golden Beach's private police department and commercial ban creates the most isolated oceanfront experience available. The fact that they're all there suggests the formula works. Number 5. Jupiter Island, where Tiger Woods and Celine Dion are literally invisible from the road. Jupiter Island is a 17-mile barrier island with approximately 800 to 830 residents and 0 commercial districts or retail zoning. It's estate only. No stores, no restaurants, nothing that serves tourists or transients. Residents need to understand they're signing up for isolation with their $9.4 to $9.7 million purchase. Typical home values are around that range, but properties regularly exceed it. The 5-year appreciation rate is 73.7%, which suggests the scarcity is driving value regardless of market conditions. The municipal government is explicitly designed for exclusivity. Strict zoning regulations prohibit commercial activity entirely. A substantial portion of the island is designated as permanent nature preserves, preventing future development. The town operates on something called a high tax ratio of approximately $4.5 million in taxable value per resident, which basically means residents collectively control billions in property value, but there are only 800 of them. That allows the town to offer exceptional municipal services while keeping property tax rates at 2.8 mils, which is absurdly low. Tiger Woods lives here, and that's the perfect example of island psychology. One of the most famous athletes on Earth could live anywhere with complete transparency, but chose Jupiter Island where he can literally exist without being seen. The estates are shielded by thick, mature tropical landscaping and private gates. You could drive past Tiger Woods' property and have no idea because the design of the community makes billionaires completely invisible. Celine Dion is also here, Greg Norman. People accustomed to global attention who've all made the same calculation. The physical infrastructure of Jupiter Island, the thick vegetation, the private gates, the complete absence of commercial activity, creates invisibility as a feature rather than a bug. You're not just buying oceanfront real estate, you're buying the architectural guarantee that nobody will see you. Number 4. Palm Beach Island, where $170 million deals happen entirely off the books. Palm Beach Island spans 16 miles and maintains approximately 9,000 permanent residents supplemented by international dignitaries, corporate executives, and financial elite during winter. The island's culture is rooted in discretion and privacy, which means a substantial percentage of real estate transactions occur entirely off-market. You won't see them on MLS. You'll never know the prices. They happen through personal relationships within elite brokerage networks. The median single-family home price is $12.9 million, but that's just the public transactions. Off-market sales tell the real story. A property at 589 North County Road sold for $170 million entirely off-market. The late Rush Limbaugh's estate at 1495 North Ocean Boulevard transferred for $155 million. These are the deals that shape the market, but remain invisible to everyone except the ultra-wealthy. The opacity is intentional. It preserves pricing power. Physical design creates invisibility through 15 to 25-foot natural hedges, deep setbacks, and security gates that render estates completely invisible from the street. Tarpon Island is a 2.3-acre private island within the island's estate section, featuring its own private bridges, helicopter accessibility, and over 1,100 feet of secure waterfront. It sold for $150 million in 2024. You literally own an island within an island, which represents the ultimate expression of separation from public visibility. Donald Trump's Mar-a-Lago Club functions as an active political and social center, which means the most visible resident on the island is using his property as a power hub rather than a private retreat. Howard Stern, Rod Stewart, Sylvester Stallone, John Bon Jovi, Tommy Hilfiger, Sean Hannity, and Dr. Mehmet Oz all live here. It's a collection of people accustomed to public attention who've made the same calculation. Palm Beach provides the infrastructure for wealth concentration, but the off-market sale culture means you never truly know what anything costs or who owns what. The interesting paradox is that Palm Beach's prestige comes entirely from historical association and off-market pricing opacity. Unlike contemporary enclaves built around architectural exclusivity or gated security, Palm Beach's exclusivity is purely psychological. You want to be here because historical wealth has always been here. The actual transaction prices and current valuations remain deliberately obscured. Number 3. Gables Estates, Coral Gables, where there's a $100,000 entry fees. Gables Estates within Coral Gables is the highest-tier residential enclave in one of Florida's most prestigious municipalities. It features 179 to 192 estate lots, averaging over 56,000 square feet, which is massive. The community is built along wide, deep-water canals with zero fixed bridges, creating bridge-free access directly to Biscayne Bay. That design choice is genuinely important. If your neighborhood requires bridges to reach the ocean, you're dealing with lock delays and waterway congestion. Bridge-free deep-water access means you can literally exit your dock and be in the bay in minutes with a yacht. Properties here command premium prices. Typical home values average $21.93 million. Active listings run as high as $175 million. The entry mechanism is non-refundable. There's a $100,000 application fee just to be considered for membership. That's not a suggestion. That's a filter. You need to demonstrate not just that you have money, but that you're serious enough about having money that you'll pay 6 figures just to apply. Ken Griffin acquired an estate at 650 Casuarina for $45.3 million in 2022. The Weekend purchased a 1.2-acre compound on Arvida Parkway for $50 million in 2025. These are young billionaires and celebrities paying contemporary prices in an enclave defined by yacht access and institutional gatekeeping. Other residents include Alonzo Mourning, Gloria Estefan, Andy Garcia, Eric Spoelstra, Pharrell Williams, and Alex Rodriguez. It's a collection of established Miami figures and contemporary wealth, all unified by the yacht-centric lifestyle and the $100,000 entry fee. What makes Gables Estates psychologically interesting is that it's created institutional wealth around a specific lifestyle. You're not just buying a house, you're joining a club with institutional gatekeeping, deep-water yacht access, and established social infrastructure. The $100,000 entry fee creates psychological buy-in that goes beyond financial commitment. You've paid to participate. You're vetted. You belong to something structured. Coral Gables also contains Tahiti Beach, an ultra-exclusive enclave of just 29 estates accessible only by invitation with its own guarded gates, private beach, and nature reserve. Home sales range between $32 million and $52.5 million. It's gating within a gated community, creating layers of exclusivity that make the entire municipality feel like nested private clubs. Number 2. Stone Creek Ranch, where Mark Wahlberg had to pass a criminal background check. Stone Creek Ranch is an ultra-exclusive inland enclave west of Delray Beach spanning 187 acres with just 37 custom estate lots. It's not beachfront. It's lakefront, with extreme security as the primary selling point. The community explicitly markets itself as a billionaire bunker, which means the architectural concept revolves around paranoia as a luxury amenity. Security operates at levels that feel almost dystopian. The single gated entrance is staffed by armed guards 24 hours a day. Every prospective buyer must pass a criminal background check before being cleared for purchase. That's not optional. That's mandatory. You cannot purchase in Stone Creek Ranch without law enforcement clearance. The community has literally decided that financial qualification isn't sufficient. You also need criminal history vetting. Located in unincorporated Palm Beach County, residents are exempt from municipal city property taxes, which provides a notable tax advantage. Average home prices jumped from approximately $6 million in 2018 to transactions consistently ranging between $30 million and $55 million. Much of this appreciation has been driven by custom spec builders, most notably designer Aldo Stark, who developed landmark properties like the $55 million Casa Maranello and the James Bond-inspired Villa Spectre. Mark Wahlberg purchased the Palazzo di Lago estate for $37 million, including custom furnishings. The actual real estate was $32.6 million. The property features an 18,000 square foot footprint with a 170,000-gallon saltwater lagoon pool, a private tennis court, and an indoor wellness wing. Russell Savage, founder of Rockstar Energy, controls two properties valued over $43 million. Steve Cohen, billionaire hedge fund manager who owns the New York Mets, also lives here. What's fascinating is that Stone Creek Ranch has achieved something unique in real estate. It's created exclusivity through administrative gatekeeping rather than location or architecture. The criminal background checks, the armed guards, the gated entrance create this sense that you're not just buying property. You're being admitted to something with institutional security protocols. The billionaire bunker marketing is explicit. You're paying for paranoia as a service. And apparently, the market rewards it heavily. 37 lots have appreciated from $6 million to $30 to $55 million in less than a decade by simply adding security infrastructure and vetting protocols. Number 1. Fisher Island. The waterlocked island where Oprah paid $90 million. Fisher Island sits off Miami Beach's southern tip and is accessible only by private ferry, yacht, or helicopter. There's no bridge and no public access. And you cannot arrive without explicit clearance. The island spans 216 acres with approximately 830 residents across 700 units, creating this intimate, completely isolated community where capital accumulates in ways that feel almost alien compared to normal real estate markets. The island operates like a private club, rather than a traditional neighborhood. Governed by a master homeowners association that oversees all municipal operations, it enforces a ban on short-term rentals and prohibits transient commercial activity entirely. Mandatory buy-in to the Fisher Island Club is approximately $250,000. That's not a one-time cost for membership. That's just the initiation. You're making a $250,000 commitment before you even close on the property. Fisher Island regularly ranks as one of the wealthiest zip codes in the United States. The median sale price is $9.5 million, but trophy penthouses regularly trade between $20 million and $90 million. Recent appreciations show property values rising more than 160% since 2010. The upcoming residences at 6 Fisher Island project has introduced ultra-luxury residences starting at $15 million, drawing international demand. Oprah Winfrey owns a penthouse here valued at approximately $90 million. Julia Roberts is a resident. Professional athletes Caroline Wozniacki and David Lee sold their custom residence for approximately $37 million, nearly doubling their original purchase price. These aren't just wealthy people. These are global icons who could own anywhere and chose waterlocked isolation instead. The lifestyle centers around a private marina, a tennis center with multiple playing surfaces, a private golf course, and white sand beaches built with imported Bahamian sand. The island literally built its own beaches using imported sand rather than accepting natural beachfront. That level of control over environment is genuinely extraordinary. You're not living on a natural island. You're living on an engineered environment designed specifically for isolation. What makes Fisher Island psychologically interesting is that it's achieved absolute separation through geography rather than architecture or administration. You cannot reach the island without clearance. You cannot live here and interact with the broader Miami community without deliberate effort. The ferry creates this physical barrier that feels almost medieval. You're not just gated, you're moated. The island has literally recreated the psychological experience of owning a private kingdom, but with contemporary infrastructure and $90 million penthouses. The security is embedded into geography itself. You want to disappear completely from public visibility? Fisher Island makes that possible because the ferry means anyone trying to reach you requires explicit permission. The island hasn't just created wealth concentration. It's created the most complete form of separation available in contemporary real estate. So these were the 8 regions where Florida's billionaires actually live, and they all reveal something fascinating about what money actually buys when you have billions. From Fisher Island's moat-like ferry access where Oprah pays $90 million for complete isolation to Stone Creek Ranch's criminal background checks and armed guards, from Palm Beach's $170 million off-market deals to Gables Estates' $100,000 entry fees, the pattern is identical. The money isn't buying visibility, it's buying invisibility infrastructure. Quick question. Would you rather live on Fisher Island and be completely unreachable, or in Gables Estates and have institutional structure? Let us know in the comments. Also, if this changed how you think about what billionaires actually pay for, subscribe to Global Status because we drop videos like this every day. Catch you next time.